What memories do you have at Cathay?
Memory of Cathay. When I go and see what a show, I usually go and buy a packet of kacang from the kacang man there, which is very popular at Cathay.
What would you feel if Cathay were to be torn down?
Torn down. Well, the old had to go, the new had to go up.
How many times did you go to the Cathay?
I remember
A lot.
less than 10 times.
How do you think Cathay has influenced your life?
No,
Does the Cathay mean anything to you?
no,
Nothing.
I think.
Do you think Cathay has contributed to your life in any way?
It's just an outing place for us to gather and meet.
Mentally, Cathay was having an impression of expensive area for my family. So I only managed to go to Cathay when I was more or less teenagers, Sec 2 time. Went there for a movie. Well, the only thing I feel about Cathay is it is more for those that is more English educated teenagers. So a lot of children. A lot of kids or students basically loitering around Cathay are those that is, the schools are in Raffles Institution. Example, St. Joseph Institutions. Why a lot? Then a lot of those English educated students go there. For girls from convent girls, Then for myself, actually it's an experience. So I mean, don't do that. In the experience, fundamentally I'm not so English educated, so I go there just for an experience. I don't feel good because my level is not there.
She lives quite close to Cathay.
I actually lived there when I was a young girl.
In those days, Cathay was the 5-star cinema of the 50s and 60s. And Cathay was also the only place where all these big event live shows were staged in those days. See? And Cathay was the place for big movie shows, like, for example, the Ten Commandments. In those days,
I remember.
it's not like these days. In those days, you queue for hours to go and book ticket to go and watch the Ten Commandments. And I remember passing by, I saw the queue from Cathay building itself snaking all the way into Bras Basah Road. Inside of Cathay, not like the Cathay at the moment. There was nothing actually. It was just plainly as a cinema.
Yeah,
That's all, just a cinema. Nothing. I think they don't use, and then the only thing that they sell is kacang putih.
Yes.
Right.
They don't sell all this popcorn, drinks, nothing. Only one kacang putih man selling kacang putih.
In
and
front,
you go there,
in front,
yes.
before you actually go up the steps.
You buy a kacang putih and then you go into the cinema, you eat your kacang putih and you watch the cinema. No drinks, nothing. No. Yes, Chinese educated will not go there.
That's why I hardly go there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So can you make a comment on like the identity of people who go there?
Mostly English educated Singaporeans. Because nowadays there are so many attractions in Singapore. So Cathay to them is just an ordinary building. It's just a place where they go for their movies. That's all.
And that extra options only
Nothing special to them. To us, it is quite special because it brings back a lot of memories.
To you guys, what's the sentimental value of Cathay?
Cathay, of course, brings back nostalgic memories, and of our school days. When I think of Cathay, it brings back memories of my school days. Mainly school days, because as school children we go there.
And the nearby
Maybe.
places
Yeah.
frequent.
Yeah, that's all. Like Cathay. In those days, very few entertainment places. And Cathay was one of them where you can, go and have food and have shows and all that. Very few, not like now. In those days, I think all these heartlands, no theatres. Where there are no theatres, there are no theatres in heartlands. Okay, all only in towns. You see, your identity. If you think of your identity, you don't just think of self. Identity also hinges on various things, like the house you grew up, grew up in, the places you visit, and the types of food that are different that you eat. This will also form part of your identity as a person.
It might not be the major one, but
Yeah, it is. That's part of you, part of your identity. You see. Yeah. So these are important. Then it's just like you must realize that as Chinese also we got our roots. Our roots are also important. It forms part of your identity. Although you are Singaporean now, but you must also know your roots now. So that part of growing up, together with all these old memories, also forms part of your identity.
How does it feel to be known as one of the pioneers of Cathay organization?
To be very proud, quite proud of myself to say, at least I have done something in life for myself and for the organization. You see. That means I feel that I have done my job, that I have done my duty. You see.
So, Mr. Wong, finally, I just want to ask you, what's your happiest memory of Cathay?
Happiest memory was by the time I'm going to retire, because I feel that I've done a good job to myself and to the company, and company goes on well, and then I have a clear conscience that I have did my best, I've done my best, and then it's time for me to retire and let some other people take over. So let the company continue to prosper. That's about all.